Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. So here was I casually minding my own business when I just happened to be looking at a few YouTubers videos and I came across the one from John at PlaidX2. Now if perhaps you're not familiar with John, you probably are, but if you're not, then do go ahead and subscribe to his channel because he's trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers, and if he manages to get to 1,000 then he's got to concentrate on doing a live stream, and that'll put him off putting out annoying community challenges. Because in his latest video he was wondering if he had a movie in his collection for every year of cinema. So he showed what he had and then put out a challenge to the community. Does he not realize how annoying it is to have to go through your whole collection, pull out these movies, make a 10-minute video and then spend another 2 hours putting the lot back again? Oh. But nonetheless, yeah, I've had a go at doing that, and I'll show you what I've got. Now, definitely for me, early years of cinema is a bit of a thin area in my collection. I do have this Laserdisc here, Landmark of Early Films, and this is a really quite fascinating one to have, and it does cover the period 1886 right up until 1913, and you can see here on the cover the very classic Georges Méliès, A Trip to the Moon, and it also includes the 1902 The Great Train Robbery. So yeah, good interesting stuff on this Laserdisc. But when it comes to my DVDs, then really my collection gets going from 1921. Now I do have a Laserdisc from 1920, and that is the Douglas Fairbanks Swashbuckler, The Mask of Zorro. Look at that, lovely cover. But when we get into the rest of the collection, I'm just going to show you the DVDs. I do have Laserdiscs for pretty much every year going up until 1999, but I won't show the Laserdiscs because otherwise that'll be a long video. I'll just stick with the DVDs for this one, with a couple of exceptions. 1924, I have a gap. I don't have anything for 1924. And then there is also 1 year in which I will just show you a Laserdisc as well. So here we go. Now I'm just going to really show these movies. This isn't going to be talking about them too much, otherwise that will be a long video. So yeah, here we go. 1921, I have Charlie Chaplin's The Kid. 1922, the classic Nosferatu. 1923, back with Chaplin, and it's this one, A Woman of Paris. 1924, that's the year I don't have anything. Terrible. 1925, Chaplin again, and it's The Gold Rush. 1926, again, shamefully I don't have anything on DVD, but I do have the classic Buster Keaton, The General. 1927, Metropolis. 1928, Anthony Asquith's Underground. 1929, this is a bit of an embarrassing one. The only film from 1925 I have is a Hitchcock movie that's included on this rather rough set, and it is Blackmail. 1930, we have the original All Quiet on the Western Front. 1931, Cimarron, the Oscar-winning Western. 1932, we have Johnny Weissmuller in his first go as Tarzan the Ape Man. 1933, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, Flying Down to Rio. 1934, William Powell and Myrna Loy in The Thin Man. 1935, Errol Flynn in Captain Blood. 1936, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. 1937, Paul Robeson in Big Fella. 1938, Errol Flynn again in the classic The Adventures of Robin Hood. 1939, Jean Gabin in Le Jour se lève. 1940, the classic The Philadelphia Story. 1941, Tyrone Power in Blood and Sand. 1942, classic wartime film Went the Day Well. 1943, Joan Crawford and Fred MacMurray in Above Suspicion. 1944, Judy Garland in Meet Me in St. Louis. 1945, Lawrence Tierney in Dillinger. 1946, the Oscar-winning The Best Years of Our Lives. 1947, It Always Rains on Sunday. 1948, John Wayne in Red River. 1949, classic Robert Ryan in The Setup. 1950, a little known early film from director John Guillermin. This is Torment, also known as Paper Gallows. 1951, Basil Dearden's Pool of London. 1952, The Greatest Show on Earth. 1953, Marilyn Monroe in Niagara. 1954, one of my all-time favourite musicals, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. 1955, Henry Fonda in Mr. Roberts. 1956, Diana Dors in J. Lee Thompson's Yield to the Night. 1957, a bit of Hammer horror, The Curse of Frankenstein. 1958, the great western, The Big Country with Gregory Peck. 1959, Gregory Peck again in On the Beach. 1960, Stanley Baker in Hell is a City. 1961, the very charming Brian Forbes film, Whistle Down the Wind. 1962, the original Cape Fear. 1963, Dirk Bogarde in Basil Dearden's The Mindbenders. 1964, Kim Stanley and Richard Attenborough in Brian Forbes's Seance on a Wet Afternoon. 1965, Sean Connery and Sidney Lumet's The Hill. 1966, with a classic John Barry score, Born Free. 1967, beautiful film, another one from Brian Forbes, The Whisperers. 1968, another obscure Hammer film, The Lost Continent. 1969, great children's movie this, My Side of the Mountain. 1970, and it's Woodstock. 71, Let's Scare Jessica to Death. 1972, Jimmy Cliff in The Harder They Come. 1973, Love and Pain and the Whole Damn Thing with Maggie Smith and Timothy Bottoms. 1974, another Hammer film, Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter. 1975, Ron Ely in Doc Savage, Man of Bronze. 1976, the epic sprawling 1900 with Robert De Niro and Gerard Depardieu, directed by Bernardo Bertolucci. And 1977, Tarantulas, The Deadly Cargo. 1978, a bit of Harold Robbins, The Betsy. 1979, Sammo Hung in The Magnificent Butcher. And 1980, Dennis Hopper's Out of the Blue. 1981, You'll Believe a Man Can Fly? Yes, it's Condor Man. 1982, Extro. 1983, Christopher Walken and Natalie Wood in Brainstorm. 1984, a Jacques Rivette film, Love on the Ground. 1985, Miranda Richardson's great performance as Ruth Ellis, Dance with a Stranger. 1986, Tarkovsky's The Sacrifice. 1987, Michelle Yeoh, Magnificent Warriors. 1988, Mira Nair's Salaam Bombay. 1989, Milos Forman's Valmont. And 1990, Christo in Paris. 1991, directed by Sean Penn, The Indian Runner. 1992, Richard Stanley's Dust Devil. 1993, The Scent of Green Papaya. And 1994, Il Postino. 1995, Zhang Yimou's Shanghai Triad. 1996, John Sayles' Lone Star with Matthew McConaughey and Chris Christopherson. 1997, Takeshi Kitano, Hanabi. 1998, Christian Slater and Morgan Freeman in Hard Rain. 1999, a Shane Meadows film, A Room for Romeo Brass. 2000, it's a Lucas Moodysson film, Together. 2001, Emma Thompson in Mike Nichols' Wit. 2002, and it's the Turkish director Nuri Bilge Ceylan, Uzak. 2003, and it's Takeshi Kitano again in The Blind Swordsman Zatoichi. 2004, and it's a documentary on the famous cinematographer Haskell Wexler, Tell Them Who You Are. 2005, and it's Gus Van Sant's Last Days. 2006, and it's Rolf de Heer's 10 Canoes. 2007, and it's Anton Corbijn's excellent movie about Joy Division's Ian Curtis, Control. 2008, Kelly Reichardt's Wendy and Lucy with Michelle Williams. 2009, early film from Gareth Evans with Iko Uwais, and it's Marantau. 2010, I've talked about this one before, Cleo Barnard's The Arbor. 2011, The Inbetweeners movie. 2012, about Jack Kerouac, On the Road. 2013, Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara in Ain't Them Bodies Saints. 2014, Celine Sciamma's Girlhood. 2015, Sebastian Schipper's excellent one-take movie Victoria. And 2016, the beautiful documentary The Eagle Huntress. 2017, a bit of horror with Marrowbone. And 2018, a little-known film, Spider-Man Into the Universe. 2019, a movie I will be talking about more, My Mexican Bretzel. 2020, excellent drama, Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. 21, Ridley Scott's House of Gucci. And then 2022, Michael Bay's Ambulance. So there you go. I don't have any movies as yet from 2023. So there was just a mixed bag of movies there. So like I say, that's not representative of all my collection. That's just to give a random selection of titles from each year of cinema. I hope that was interesting. Like I say, I tried to keep it as mixed as possible. But yeah, do go and check out John's Plaid X2 channel if you have not already done so, and you can take part in the challenge and just tag him in it if you decide to do it. Okay, thanks very much for joining me on this one. I hope I will see you again. All the best to you. Bye bye.